Alright, I just finished reading Ecclesiastes not too long ago for devotion, like month and a half ago. Um, and I went through it pretty slowly. But this time I just read it a couple hours ago, rather quickly. Like a decent pace. And Ecclesiastes is a really good book. Really glad it's in the Bible. It's kind of hard to know what to do with it. And it raises a lot of questions about how are we to interact with the Bible in the first place. Um, but in the interest of writing notes, um, there's a lot of tension, at least in my reading of Ecclesiastes, between is pleasure worthwhile? Is knowledge worthwhile? Knowledge increases suffering, and yet he says the path of the wise is better. We should choose wisdom, not folly. Even though knowledge, and I link knowledge and wisdom as being connected, knowledge brings suffering, yet choose wisdom. He says pleasure is vanity, yet there's nothing better for a man than to love his wife, love his food, love his job, basically. Um, so, should I choose wisdom or should I choose pleasure? It seems like these are opposed to each other. Um, I don't know what I should do, basically. Um, so there's that tension kind of going on, and from that tension I draw this core idea that it's related to teleology. There seems to be real teleology in Ecclesiastes. That people have ends, people have goals, they have functions, and um, the end is what makes something worthwhile, not the journey. It is not about the climb, it's about what's on the other side. Um, if I invest a lot of money to build a tower, and then in the end I don't have a tower, that was wasted money. That was a bad decision. You should not have done that. Uh, because teleology is what makes things worthy. If they have good ends, then it's a good thing. Um, or at least it's one of the things. And so that seems, reasonable thing. We kind of function like that in a lot of ways. We think about goals. Aristotle's super into that, of course, and so is Plato. And Solomon says, okay, let's take teleology seriously, and let's look at people. Everyone dies. We have no idea what happens after death from experience. So if we take teleology as being important and experience as being our guiding reason for knowledge, um, all we know is that people die. And that people come, effectively, it seems like people come to nothing. That's what our experience tells us. People come to nothing, people are forgotten. So therefore, um, our goal, our teleology, our telos, is nothing. We are destined for nothing. And therefore, we are nothing, or we are worth nothing. Or there's nothing good about trying to accomplish anything ever. Uh, that's why everything's vanity. Vanity of vanities. Vapor. Everything fades to no end. So I think he ends up saying, okay, well, if our end is nothing, then what should I do? Should I just kill myself? Get it over with? Um, I think in some sense, he ends up saying something like, well, we can have pleasure now, um, so we can kind of view now as our end, and we can see pleasure is of the highest good. There's nothing better. He says, yeah, eat your bread with joy and drink your wine with merry hearts, for God has already approved what you do. Like God is okay with these bodily pleasures. Um, Enjoy life with the one you love. So he commends these things, these pleasure things, the things that have no use. Pleasure has no use whatsoever. Because I think that becomes our end. Our end is to be happy in this life. For Solomon. But then it's like, okay, then I should be a hedonist. I should acquire as much pleasure as possible. Morality, whatever. Who cares about morality? I'll steal if it makes me happy. I'll murder if it makes me happy. I'll do whatever I want. And all that matters is this life. No morality can be sustained. And so I could just go from that. And Solomon says no, because though a sinner does evil 100 times and prolongs his life, yet I know that it will be well with those who fear God, but it will not be well with the wicked. Solomon has this conviction that seems to come out of nowhere, that those who honor God will do well, and those who do not will not, and that there can be a delayed justice here, significantly delayed, even beyond your life, it would seem, because good people die without having pleasure restored to them. They seem to never be repaid for honoring God. Yet he still has this conviction. So it seems like he says, enjoy everything that you can, justly. Enjoy everything you can while honoring God, because honoring God will give you more pleasure in the end. We know that. We know that's true. We don't know how that's true, or in what way that's going to happen, or we maybe don't even know why we know that, or how we know that. But we just know that's true. If we honor God, He will be more pleased in the end. I think, therefore, you can say, well, clearly this person wasn't more pleased in the end if the end is death. Therefore, there's something beyond death that is significant, that has weight of pleasure and satisfaction. But Solomon doesn't seem to make that jump. He kind of holds on to remember God, honor God, have as much pleasure as you can within those boundaries, and just live fully as much as possible. Know that in the end you come to nothing. And also trust God. It's really hard for me to not just like immediately make the jump to, yeah, but heaven, like, have a real belief in heaven changes everything, changes completely everything. It makes, from just like pragmatic point of view, it says honoring God is worthwhile. If all I'm after is maximum positive emotion and minimum negative emotion, then, and if heaven's real, then I ought to honor God. That's the logical thing to do. But Solomon doesn't make that connection, and it might be an absence of Jesus, it might be an absence of heaven from Old Testament. It might just be kind of an inconceivable thing for him. Those are all possibilities, but it's difficult for me to read this book and feel like I'm remaining honest to the text. So there's all that, and that's pretty much the main thing I've been thinking about throughout the whole book. Synthesis, epistemology, whatever. Politics, whatever. Obey the king. It seems addressed to a citizen more than to a king. King, just like, man, it sucks being the king, man. Everything sucks. There's nothing good in the world. The world has nothing to offer you. Honor God. Remember God in your youth. So, yeah. I'm really appreciative of them putting in Ecclesiastes at the end of the semester. I think it can do a lot of good, although it can be very painful.